Well, here I am. You know what? Don't you just love technology? Let's turn off this music. We don't need it. You know, belief, believing in yourself, belief, it's a superpower. Two quarterbacks. One leaves a champion. One leaves defeated. Both, though, taught us exactly how your photography business and what your photography business needs right now. And I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. Hey there, Lens Legends. Welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show, where we focus on the business side of photography. I'm your host, Jim Landers, your guide on the business side. And it's my mission to uplift portrait photographers to make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. So for Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her amazing, wonderful team are going to make you look like a hero to your clients. Now, I know some of you watching aren't printing and others of you aren't professional photographers. You're thinking about it, or you just like hearing my opinion. So majority of the people that are watching, though, are professional photographers, and a lot of them are not printing. It's surprising how many photographers there are who don't yet know how to print. They haven't done that part. That's out of their wheelhouse currently. It doesn't mean that they have no interest in it, but it does mean that they've got room to grow, like all of us, including myself. But man, you want to make it easy? Go to digitalprolab.com, because Amanda and her wonderful team, man, she only hires the best people. She's got people who actually love what they do. So they make you, just by default, make you look like a hero. Go to digitalprolab.com and see the difference the Digital Pro Lab is going to make for you. This show is also sponsored by Landers Photography School. That's my company. And I teach both the photography side and the business side, both group classes and private classes. So if you've got some thoughts and ideas of what you want to do, let's talk about it first. Find out what it is you want to do. Find out what the right tools are for you. Find out if I'm the right tool for the job, because I might be. And I will definitely know if I'm not. So reach out to me. I'll put this up on the screen. This is a link to my calendar. So you can just put yourself right on my calendar. And if you need to make a change, you just make a change. No problem. But you go to calendly.com, Calendly, not calendar, calendly.com/photo school /15 MIN. Might want to do a screenshot if you hadn't written that down yet. Now, I want to encourage you as I share some thoughts in just a moment. I want to encourage you to ask questions and make comments throughout the discussion. Maybe something that you've observed or that you feel strongly about. I also want you to go to the comments section right now and enter in hashtag live. Hashtag live. This lets me know that you're watching on either Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube. And for those watching the replay, please comment hashtag replay. I also want one more thing. I want to request that you share the Portrait Profit Show. That is how others hear about the show. That's how we do it. I don't spend money on advertising. It's you telling other people that cause people to watch this show. So I want to thank you for sharing the Portrait Profit Show. Now, let's move into our topic for today. You know what? Your photography business is going to test you. I mean, life is going to test you. It's not like you don't know that part. But what separates those who build lasting, fulfilling, and profitable businesses? Well, let me ask that as a question. What separates those who build lasting, fulfilling, profitable businesses from those who fall short? Well, it's just one thing, just one, at least one that we're going to talk about today. And what I'm about to share with you reveals what that is. We're going to talk about what you do after failure. Because if you allow it, failure is fuel for reaching your goals. And I say if because you have to allow it to become fuel for reaching your goals. If you put up blinders and block and give excuses and reasons, other people see it you as giving excuses. You think of yourself as giving reasons. You're not going to be able to use it as fuel for reaching your goals. So you have to allow that to happen in your life. It's it's a personal decision. Belief in yourself is a decision to keep moving forward, even after failure. You're about to gain the knowledge of how to transform setbacks into stepping stones. You're going to know who you need in your corner and a simple mindset shift that really just changes everything. The Super Bowl has a message that benefits photographers. It actually benefits everyone, photographer and all. Whether you're celebrating Seattle's victory or processing New England's defeat or wondering why people make such a big deal about a game, it doesn't matter which one you fall in. Stay with me. The Super Bowl just handed us a master class in perseverance for your business. And the lessons are universal. Even if you don't know the difference between a touchdown and a field goal. During the 2026 Super Bowl, the NFL aired a lot of commercials, but they aired a powerful commercial from them that set the tone for everything that was about to unfold in the game. In the ad, and if you recognize this ad that I'm about to describe, put yes in the comments, letting me know that you understand what I'm saying. In the ad, a young boy sits in his room thinking about what his coach said during practice. In his head, he's hearing over and over again what his coach said. I am a champion. The boy gets up and repeats it out loud to his toys as if he were giving himself a pep talk. I am a champion. The commercial ends with a simple but powerful message. Belief is a superpower. Belief is a superpower. Did you hear him say that? I am a champion. Psyching himself up. That stuff works. Then, as the game unfolded, and we watched that message play out in real time, I want you to understand that the Super Bowl isn't just a popular game. It is a masterclass in what happens when people believe in themselves despite overwhelming odds. I know you think of those guys as being the top. They don't have overwhelming odds. It's not tough for them. Are you kidding me? Those who are at the top have it the toughest. Way tougher than you. I understand your situation. If I were to hear it, of course, is tough. I get it. But as I watched the Seattle Seahawks defeat the New England Patriots 29-13, I couldn't help but see powerful parallels between what happened on that field and what happens every day in your life and in your portrait photography business. Let me tell you two stories from the game that every photographer needs to hear: a comeback story and a learning story. First, the comeback story. Sam Darnold, the Seahawks' winning quarterback, wasn't supposed to be there. Let me explain why I say that. 6 years ago, he was labeled a draft bust, a failed investment. He was traded away, bounced between teams, and many wrote him off completely. The New York Jets gave up on him. The Panthers benched him. He became a backup with the 49ers. But on Super Bowl Sunday, Sam Darnold became the champion he always was. In his post-game interview, when asked about his journey, Darnold said something that every photographer needs to hear. Every person needs to hear. As long as you believe in yourself, anything's possible. Now, you've heard that before, but you may not have heard it from someone who had been ignored, written off, benched. He also reflected on what made the difference. He said, all my teammates, all my coaches that I've ever had, always believing in me and always believing in myself. There it is again. Belief. The same superpower the NFL highlighted in their commercial. But this wasn't just a marketing message. This was about a person who lived it. Think about that for a moment. Darnold's success wasn't about talent alone. It was about refusing to quit when everyone else had given up on him. It was about taking it one day at a time, continuing to improve, and surrounding himself with people who believed in him. Does that sound familiar to your situation? Are you surrounding yourself with people who believe in you? Some of you are. Some of you could use a little help in that category. By the way, I'll tease this now. That's the topic for next week's Portrait Profit Show. I'll get more into that in a little bit so you have a better idea of what that will be about. But how many times have you felt like giving up on your photography business or whatever it is, project that you've been working on? How many times have you felt like giving up? Now, I don't want you to answer that in the comments. I want you to answer that in your head. Or maybe just listen to what I'm going to say and don't answer any of these questions I'm about to ask at all. But I want them to just kind of flow through your mind so you have an understanding of what I'm attempting to convey. How many times have you felt like giving up? How many times has someone said no? Has a client said no? How many times have you questioned whether you've got what it takes? How many times have you looked at your bank account and wondered if a change is necessary? For the photographers getting a real job, that is the moment when belief, your superpower, matters most. That is the moment when you have those doubts, that when your belief in yourself matters most. It's your superpower. So there were two stories. Here's the second. On the other side of the field was Drake May, the Patriots' 23-year-old quarterback who had well, let's just say a difficult night. You might state it differently, but you'd agree he had a difficult night. He was sacked 6 times. Ugh. That necessarily isn't his fault, but he was sacked 6 times. That's usually a fault of the line. But he was sacked 6 times. That's difficult. He threw 2 interceptions. That is really hard to take as a quarterback. And he fumbled twice. Again, that is emotionally, mentally difficult to handle. His team was dominated for much of the game. Yeah, there were a couple little times in there, mostly just in the fourth quarter, and not much. If you're a Patriots fan, it was painful to watch. It was painful to watch, period. And I would expect even more painful for him to experience. You guys have been there. You've experienced those kinds of failures. You may be currently. But I want to talk about his post-game response because that's where the real lesson lives. Fighting back tears, May told reporters, I think that's the biggest thing about life is you're going to have times like this. I didn't leave that up long enough. It's how you bounce back. I think a lot of those guys in the locker room, they're going to use this as fuel. Are you guys using your failure as fuel? Well, he went on to say, I think I would go to war with these guys anytime, any day, anywhere. It's motivation to get back here and not have this feeling and have what they're feeling out there. Yeah. When you're experiencing a failure, you are not feeling good and you want to feel like the guys that are feeling good. But if you're making excuses, feeling sorry for yourself, you are failing to use the tool that will bring you back. This is a young man who just experienced one of the biggest disappointments in his professional life on the world's biggest stage. And his immediate response was, how do I learn from this? How do I bounce back? How do I use this as fuel? Even in defeat, belief remained his superpower. He believed this experience would make him stronger. I believe he's right. He believed he and his team would return. He believed the pain of this moment would fuel the success of tomorrow. By the way, Make sure to click that like button if you're hearing something you like. Make sure to click that love button if you've heard something that you love. Let me know that you're here watching live by entering hashtag live in the comments. I can see several of you have already done that. Thank you for doing that. I also want you to know that for every single lesson, every single show that we do on the Portrait Profit Show, I make a handout. And if you'd like that handout, then all you have to do is follow the instructions you see on the screen. It says to, and I'll put it up one more time, send me an email, jim@portraitprofits.com, and tell me you want the handout. Specify which one, because this is show number 257. I'll assume that you're asking about the most recent one, but how do I know? Yeah, just tell me. Which show was it? And let's see. That's the handout. Okay, that's been up long enough. Perfect. What does this mean for your life or your photography business or whatever it is that you do? You know, when you start a portrait photography business or any project, no one really ever seems to mention something, oh man, really important. You are going to fail. Now, you might have in your mind that failure means giving up, that it means it's done, you're walking away. I don't consider failure to be that. Fail is I didn't succeed in this thing I was doing, but that doesn't mean I stop. You are going to fail a lot, multiple times a day. You're going to have sessions that don't go as planned. You're going to lose clients and sometimes not even understand why. And it hurts. You're going to make pricing mistakes. You're going to invest in marketing that doesn't do a freaking thing for you. You're going to have months where you just wish that you could break even. You're going to have more than your share of disappointments. You're going to question everything. In my 30 plus years as a full-time portrait photographer, I've learned this. The photographers who succeed aren't the ones who don't fail. They're the ones who fail a lot and they keep on keeping on despite that failure. They're the ones who understand that belief truly is a superpower. They're the Sam Darnolds who keep believing in themselves even when others have written them off. You're the Drake Mays who use their failures as fuel instead of letting them become permanent defeat. They're the young boy in that NFL commercial who's in his room alone, talking to his toys, declaring, I am a champion, not because he's won yet, but because he believes he will. I want to talk about, by the way, if this is helping, will you let me know? Hit that like button. Go over to the comment section and just tell me it's helping. You can say whatever you want, but that'll help me understand this is when you said it. Let me talk to you about the Seahawks' secret weapon. The Seattle Seahawks' secret weapon. There's another lesson from the game that applies directly to your life and to your business. The Seahawks won because of their team, not because of Sam Darnold. He's just an example I'm giving you to help me illustrate the point. The Seahawks won because of the team, not just those out on the field, but as far as those out on the field. Their defense dominated. Kicker Jason Myers set a Super Bowl record with 5 field goals. 5. And running back Kenneth Walker III earned MVP honors. MVP. It wasn't a one-man show, and neither is your business or your life. I know you feel like it is, and sometimes it can get lonely. You know, Seahawks owner Jody Allen captured this thought perfectly when she said, I have to thank all the 12s that are here with us and all the 12s at watch parties everywhere and all the 12s around the world. Now you may be thinking, the 12s? What's that? The 12s is what Seahawks fans call themselves, representing the idea that the fans are the 12th player on the field. She was thanking their community for being part of the journey to the championship. And Seattle Seahawks coach Mike McDonald said of quarterback Sam Darnold, he understands how much his team believes in him and has his back. So just keep firing away, man. Keep being you. Are you surrounding yourselves with people who say that about you when you aren't even around to hear it? Remember that NFL commercial? Do you remember what that NFL commercial was really about? It wasn't just a boy believing in himself. It was about the coach's belief in him and how it affected him. The commercial ended with a message thanking coaches because they understood something powerful. Belief becomes exponentially more powerful when it is shared. In your photography business, you need that same support. In your life, you need that same support. You need mentors. And notice I said that plural. You need mentors. You need fellow photographers and industry vendors like Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School who believe in you. You need clients who champion your work. And of course, you need to believe in yourself. Success isn't a solo journey, it is a team effort. Think about this. If elite athletes at the top of their game need coaches, why not you? If Super Bowl quarterbacks need people in their corner believing in them, who would you be to think that you don't? I want to remind you one more time, there is a handout for every one of these shows. Again, 257 as of today. And I encourage you to get the handout if you think it would benefit you. The way I take care of that is I send it to your email. Or if you do a hashtag handout, I send it to you, I DM it to you. And I do send it with an invoice for $10. If you forget to pay it, I don't care. I'm not keeping track. I won't ever send it again. If you want to support what I'm doing here on the Portrait Profit Show for portrait photographers every single week, then that's the only way that I bring in an income. For that, I teach classes with Landers Photography School, so I make money that way too. But for as far as the show, that's how I bring in any income that comes in is through the handouts. By the way, next week's handout, that's the one you're really going to want. This one, you can probably just watch the show again and get everything you need. You don't need this one. But if you want it, all right. By the way, there is someone last week who didn't get it. The numbers were off by one. So that means someone didn't get their handout last week. If you could remind me, if you're watching right now, let me know. All right. So, oh, by the way, here's how to get the handout. So send me an email, jim@portraitprofits.com, or enter hashtag handout in the comments. And if you want to get on my schedule, do a screenshot because I'm not going to leave this up very long. Now, let me bring this to a close. As you move forward this week, I want you to activate your superpower. I want you to start with these 4 actions. 4 actions. Believe in yourself even when others don't. Sam Darnold was written off as a failure, but he kept working, kept improving, kept believing that his success story was still being written. Your success story is still being written. Number 2, use failure as fuel, not as a stop sign. Failure doesn't mean give up. It means push forward. It's something that should excite you because it gives you one more thing that you know what not to do. Accumulate enough of those and you'll find exactly the right things to do. But if you quit, Drake May's response to defeat wasn't to quit. It was to ask, how do I bounce back? Every failed photography session, every lost client, every slow month, that's an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Number 3, audit your team. Take 5 minutes right after the show ends. Audit your team. Take 5 minutes today and ask yourself, who believes in me? Who challenges me to be better? Who's in my corner? And once you have these people listed, by the way, they may be listed in multiple categories. You can start with making categories if you'd like. I'll talk more about that next week. I'll tell you more about what I'm going to be sharing next week here in just a moment. But who believes in me? Who challenges me to be better? Who's in my corner? And most importantly, once you have looked that list over, who's missing? Where are the gaps? You're going to see them. If elite athletes at the top of their game need coaches, if Super Bowl quarterbacks need people believing in them, who are you to think you don't need one? Number 4, declare your championship. Like that young boy in the commercial start saying something along the lines of what he was saying. I am a champion. Now, your words might be different. The message remains the same. I am a champion. And you're saying that before there are results to prove it. Belief precedes achievement. Isn't that a good thing? Belief precedes achievement. I want you to start noticing who supports you and where the gaps are. Next week, I'm going to show you exactly how to build that championship support team. You need it. This isn't one of those lessons you're like, I'll skip this one. No, do not skip this one. Once you do what I'm going to tell you next week, those feelings of doubt fade. I wouldn't say they go away completely because you're human, but oh my gosh, do they fade. You're going to be so impressed. We'll cover the framework, the specific types of supporters that you need in your life, how to find them if you don't have them. That's next Monday at noon on the Portrait Profit Show. By the way, the second Monday of each month, we move it to 6:30. That's what we're doing right now. Next week, it's at noon. That's the regular time. The Super Bowl reminded us that champions aren't made in a single game. They're made in the daily grind, in the setbacks they refuse to accept as permanent, in the belief they maintain when everyone else has given up. You know, the NFL was right. Belief is a superpower. And Sam Darnold proved it. As long as you believe in yourself, anything's possible. So, what are you going to do with your superpower today? I don't mean sometime in the future. No. What will you do today with your superpower that you are now aware of? How will you use belief to transform your business and your life? Because your ideal future begins now. So, as we end another episode, I encourage you to hit that like button, hit that love button, share the Portrait Profit Show. And I hope that the lesson from the Super Bowl has given you a fresh perspective on what's possible when you refuse to give up on yourself. Whether you saw yourself in Sam Darnold's comeback story or Drake May's commitment to bounce back, remember this: belief is a superpower, and you already have it. You just have to be aware, access it, use it. The world is waiting for your unique vision and your ability to touch lives through portraiture. When the doubts come, when the setbacks hit, when your inner voice whispers that maybe you should quit, remember what you learned today. Champions aren't made in a single moment. They're made in the daily choice to keep believing, keep improving, keep moving forward. So trust in yourself, trust in talent, the talent you have already, the talent you continue to build. Trust in the team that you're building around yourself. And use every failure as fuel. Failure is good. It just doesn't feel that way at first. But I bet every single one of you could look back at something that you considered a failure at the time and realize that is what caused you to be where you are today. Failure is fuel. Your success story is still being written. For those of you who don't know, I call you, the viewers of the Portrait Profit Show, Lens Legends. So I want to thank you, Lens Legends, for your time and attention here today. Thank you for the hard work you put in every single day to build a photography business that matters, to build a life that matters, that uplifts those around you. I'll see you next Monday when we build your championship support team. Put it on your calendar. You've got a lot of stuff going on in your life. You will forget. Put it on your calendar right now, noon on Monday next week every Monday, the Portrait Profit Show. So for Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, I'm Jim Landers, and this is the Portrait Profit Show. Until next week, Lens Legends, remember, belief is your superpower. Use it. I look forward to watching you grow. You guys always amaze me. Bye for now.